Hey guys and girls, and thank you for watching another live stream of the Xbox Tester. I'm checking if everything is correct. I do think so. Hopefully everybody can hear me loud and clearly and see me and hear me. And I already see some people joining the chat. Hello Raichi and Jeroen, welcome. So yeah. Yes, hear you fine. Okay, that's perfect. That's always good to hear. It's always at the start of the stream, it's always a little bit like, does everything work? Hello, Bezo. Welcome to the stream. So, yeah. Let's check out Clair Obscure Expedition 33 on the Xbox Series S. I'm going to play it on Series S. I know some people, we're a little bit like, oh, it looks really strange on the Series S. I do think it looks gorgeous on Series S. That's that, taking in mind that it is run on a Series S, of course. Let's be honest, It's not a PlayStation 5 Pro or a Series X that's double the price. And yeah, hey David, welcome to the stream. Always good to see you. Always happy to see you in my streams. And Randall, Kelvin, also welcome to the stream. I played the first hour in cloud on my phone. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So yeah, let's check it out. So how big is it? It's like what? 42.3 GB. It's on Gamepass. It's Xbox Gen 9. Let's go start it up. Let's go. What do you guys want? Do you want to see me do like the prologue? Or do you want to see me playing further from where I am right now? I'm like 4 or 5 hours into the game. So what do you want? You want to see? Want to see like middle of the game stuff? Or do you want to see like, yeah. Yeah, I'm so Microsoft should really have given us 12 GB of RAM. No. Prologue? Yeah, I do think so. The Nintendo Switch 2 will be also, it's a Gen 10 console. It will also not have 12 GB of RAM. And if Xbox will ever come out with a handheld console, it will also be in the range of like the Series S with 4 GB of RAM. So it's more than enough, let them work for it, Same goes for the guys at Baldur's Gate back in the day. They said they couldn't make the game run on the Series S, and now it runs better than anything else on the Series S. They just needed to optimize the game. Oh, this music is so good. Yeah, let's do the prologue. Expeditioner tutorials disabled. Now let's go. This game is so good. I've did a preview of this game like a month ago or something, and I was already like, oh my goodness, this is going to be something really out of the ordinary. And I was right. Like a month ago, I already knew that this game would be really good. And then the paintress comes to count a number down. Yeah, it was definitely in my top 3 games when it was first announced. I was like, oh, this is going to be cool. Fun fact, by the way, did you know that this game is made by a complete team of ex-Ubisoft members? They were all let go by Ubisoft and made this game. This is the biggest middle finger I've seen to a big corporation in a long time. Like, you want to get rid of us? No problem. We'll make our own game. We're gonna destroy every game you made. Mel.
Supposed to be helping with the festival.
With what? Putting up 3 tables? Don't manage.
You underestimate Lumiere's enthusiasm for the expedition. There's at least 5 tables.
Marvelous.
Have you tried throwing with your other arm instead? If you could hit the painters directly.
A long time ago, the Friends was actually really good at making video games, like in the 1990s and the early 2000s. With Infogrames and Ubisoft, old Ubisoft. Can you make the game music a bit louder? Sure thing.
No, they gave their lives to lay the trail for us, right? Yeah.
Hopefully this is better. Please let me know.
You still got a flower to give, no?
Yes. Yes. Just...
Well, Canada just made Balletro last year, like best game of the year.
You're out.
Still a bit soft, okay?
I don't know. Sun's about to set, so be direct.
Hopefully this is better.
Hey, Soph, been a while. Could we...
Prologue, Lumière. Hopefully it's better now. You know, look at this. This is Series S, you guys. Of course you can see it running on a low resolution and it uses a lot of upscaling techniques. But still, this is on a Series S, a $299 console. There's not a cheaper console in the world right now that can run this game with 30 FPS in this quality. There's nothing. And the console is 4 years or 5 years old almost. Une flower de Sophie.
Alright, let's go. I'll accompany you there. Are you ready to see her again?
Yeah. Been ready.
You know, I do think that is the game better, or is this game better, or the Elder Scrolls Oblivion remastered? Two completely different games, and literally not to be. It's impossible to put both of these games next to each other. One is a 20-year-old remaster of a legendary game. This is a brand new game in the indie scene, so it's not. It's impossible to put these two together next to each other.
Sister, though, I sort of borrowed the hooks from the Expedition Academy. Wish I had them when I was working as a courier.
But look at this. Emo Robert Pattinson as the main protagonist. Oblivion is addictive like a drug. An Expedition 33 fine cuisine. Yeah.
Come on, good stuff. Speed up a bit.
You know.
Sophie will have already gamaged by the time you've arrived.
My head.
Well, I think this game actually refined turn-based games. I do love turn-based games. I would rather play a turn-based RPG than a hack-and-slash RPG, something like Final Fantasy 16. I really hated Final Fantasy 16 for the Devil May Cry gameplay.
Thanks.
She's popular. I'm sure she already has a necklace full of flowers.
I can imagine.
If you advise me to download only, I can't advise you. You know, it's impossible to advise. Both amazing games. Oh, I really dislike Final Fantasy 16. It's one of my most hated Final Fantasies I've played. Had nothing to do with Final
Looks tense.
Fantasy. Final Fantasy in name only. And guys, don't look at this girl. She's 16. You go to jail.
I know what you need.
No.
Come on, it'll loosen you up. And if you win...
All right, you're on.
Yes!
Done it too early.
No shame losing to a superior fighter.
Whose fault is it that I play this game? Mine? Mine? Hope it's my fault.
Hope your Lumina converter works better than your Jewel.
Most people do not like the combat system in the game. Is that a problem? No, I think the combat system is one of the biggest pluses in the game. It's like one of the best turn-based gameplays I've played in years. Like in years. Takes just too late. Come on. Here we go. Perfect. Watching you from the Ukraine. Oh, thank you. The world is yours.
You won.
Who is most
Now, don't
people?
you feel
The
better?
2.5 who left the negative. Yeah. I think the
Alright.
people that hated this
That's fine,
this
sir.
combat system just don't like RPGs.
I saw her near the
Those are
red-
people that only play Call of Duty probably and have no idea how these kind of games work. But if you like
Oh, the
RPGs,
plaza's lively.
like the older Final
Most people like to
Fantasies, Final Fantasy
celebrate
7,
the
8,
glamour.
9,
It's still a mystery to
stuff
me.
like that.
Oh well.
Do you expect it to be nominated? Easy. This will easy get a nomination for Game of the Year. Without a doubt.
The red and white tree. I've always found it
Hey,
beautiful.
Hibanabe, meine deutsche
I
Freund.
don't really understand.
No, easily. You know, it will probably... I can already tell you that this is going to be one of the games that's gonna get a lot of awards. I think for music it will get an award. It will get an award for best newcomer, maybe even best indie game. Maybe even Game of the Year. Remember, this game was made by only 30 people. This or Oblivion. It's impossible to tell you this or Oblivion. Yeah, only 700 subs away from 100k. It's insane, right?
Can we talk?
Gustav,
Doofy?
I love you all.
That's for your, if there's room.
You guys make sure.
There's always room.
Oh. No, I'm playing on Series S, actually.
Yes,
sorry. I
you
miss
don't
you.
need to. Okay.
You go.
No, you.
You know how I feel.
Looked really
Wish
good.
Things had been. You know, I often think another path. You know, another future.
Yeah, there's a French
Don't
dub.
can't
You
change
can
your
play it in
sentences,
French
can you?
if you
Yeah.
want to.
That hasn't changed.
But I just can say I'm gonna be honest. I'm Dutch, and I really don't like the sound of the French language. Sorry, my French watchers. Sorry, you're gonna hate me for this, but I do not like French. Even in movies, I don't like it, or series, or whatever.
I understand. Just
Don't worry, I'm French. Okay.
in a different world.
Sorry if I...
We'll break the cycle, so she can't steal anyone else's future.
Stubborn people.
offended
hate the
somebody,
world,
but no.
And you are the most stubborn person I know.
I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it.
Thank you. Walk me to the harbor?
I've been to French many times. But yeah, no. From the Netherlands, yeah. But I also know people that hate the Dutch language. You know, let's be honest, the Dutch language is also a really bad language. My goodness. It's like a hodgepodge of like 100 different kind of languages. I'm gonna be doing this really slowly. You know, the first time I played this, I rushed through the prologue to get towards the part that I wanted to record. So I never really got to enjoy the prologue, and a lot of people were telling me I don't like the people on the
I'm fine.
No, the people out Twente, those are the worst people out there,
Look around.
Totempaal.
We've had our whole lives to
Those are so, oh my goodness.
fine. Most
You have the Netherlands, and then you have Twente. And Twente is the worst part of the Netherlands, 100% sure. My goodness. Oh, righty, don't worry. Here in the Netherlands, we have even worse voice actors. If there's one thing bad here in the Netherlands, then it's when they dub a game or movie in Dutch. Thankfully, I live in a country where 99% of all games, movies, television series are all in the original languages with subtitles. I can still remember the first time we had like a game on console that was dubbed in Dutch, and that was on the Super Nintendo back in the early 1990s, and that was Lupia on the Super Nintendo. That was the first time ever. Let's see. First time ever I saw a is it a normal trash can? Games running at 30 FPS per second are a problem for you. Depends on the type of game. It really depends on the type of game. If it's like a fast-paced shooter, yeah, 30 FPS can be a little bit annoying. Racing games can also be annoying at 30 FPS. But a game like this that's actually quite relaxing and not too extreme in terms of action, 30 FPS is more than fine. You know, I've been playing this game too on my ROG Ally. That's a handheld PC, and I'm playing it at 30 FPS on that system, and it looks almost the same as I get here on my Series S. Almost. But keep in mind, that's an €800 handheld console. So it's not to be compared with the Series S in price. You know, that €800 device. Yeah, on Series X it runs at 60 FPS. That's correct.
We can use that.
You know, I was really curious today. Now that you were talking about 30 FPS, I had a really funny thing today. I was planning a video on Super Mario Kart 64 on the Nintendo Switch for my Nintendo channel. And I did a frame rate test on the game. I was playing it, having fun with it. And the frame rate test told me it was 30 FPS, but meanwhile, when I was playing it, I had no feeling it was 30 FPS.
Scintillating, so you're as gorgeous as always.
Cyril, you flatterer.
Beautiful and perceptive, per usual. See, I'm preparing the headline for tomorrow, and who could write it better than someone who celebrates her special day today?
True.
You think that this game would do wonders on the Nintendo Switch too, by the way.
What will the article be about?
Actually,
You don't know.
well,
You really are lazy.
help me again, Sophie.
Green enough
please.
time. Yeah, same goes for Starwing or Star Fox for some people.
Sure. Let me think of a headline.
I use a Avermedia 4K 2.1. What's it called? 4K 2.1. Something Pro. That's what I use.
The Pale Sun.
A headline about the contrast of beauty and death.
And I have an Elgato 4K. I've got 2 capture cards actually. Do you think it will do wonders on the Switch 2? I think it will run almost the same as what we're seeing here right now. You know, the Switch 2 will be in the range of the Series S if we're lucky. If we're lucky, it will be in the range of the Series S.
Okay, now I'm inspired. You really are a divine being.
You know, Destiny was actually on the Xbox One even 30 FPS.
Don't forget to
I had
ready.
never any problems with playing it at 30 FPS. Never.
I would never.
I think this, the Xbox One X was the first console that could do that game at 60 FPS.
Thank you for all these times.
What do you think of the Gamepass? The Gamepass this year has been insane with the amount of great games that we're seeing on Gamepass this year.
Pleasure, my friend.
That's
Take
not
care of
normal.
yourself.
Yeah, but it is still a slower device and all. That's why I say it's going to be in the range of the Series S.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct, Ultima God. That's correct. It was 30 FPS on every system, and I had no problem with it. thank you, Michael. That's good to hear.
My gestural costume is the best.
Oh, die heeft ook een plaat voor zijn kop.
Hey, madame. Do you think the gesturals really...
Sorry, that was Dutch. And I don't think I can explain that one in English.
The others laugh, but one day...
So if you were Dutch, you probably
even if it means
got my
joining
joke.
an expedition. I'll raise and me and my little brother will live with the gesturals, and they'll be our new family. We're tired of the orphanage. If the legends are true, they really like to bite. That's why I'm training every day by beating up my little...
That's... yeah. You would make a great gestural.
Thanks.
No, I saw some first videos about Cyberpunk 2077 running on a Nintendo Switch 2. I already think that that's pretty impressive that they could make that game even run on a Nintendo Switch 2. So even then it went as low as like 24 FPS in some instances. You know what? I was playing also this game on my handheld ROG Ally.
Something wrong?
On 30 FPS. It's not a big deal on a small screen, 30 FPS. Even 720p is not that bad on a small screen.
All they do is leave us here to die. They're just escaping.
Well, I already bought a Nintendo Switch 2. I'm 100% going to make videos on the Nintendo Switch 2.
Yes, that's what before he left for Expo. And here we are again this year. We could have spent...
Your father...
I have no future. I know...
You never know. This expedition might be different. There are some...
Yeah, right.
Gustav, why don't you show her some of your fighting skills to prove her wrong?
Oh? Let's get some. Oh.
This was weak.
I first need to overcharge it. Well, in some way there is already an Xbox handheld, you know, if you pick a ROG Ally or a Lenovo Legion, something like that. Those are actually just... almost there. Overcharged.
For those who come after.
Here we go.
That's... This guy is strong.
You know, I think that the wokies are gonna hate this game, you know? Male protagonists with female sidekicks.
Then, Madame...
I think I already saw a few of them, they on the street with torches and pitchforks for this game.
I'm content with my life. I know what... or maybe...
Do you think...
Well, it's a very short, not that fast game.
Either it works or it doesn't. When the time comes, you'll make...
Thank you. Give this to your boyfriend.
Illumina points.
Why does Manon keep saying death?
You haven't heard that before?
Oh yeah. They will definitely talk about that, Ultima God. Yeah, I've been working... Thank you for noticing, Byram. Thank you for noticing. I've worked yesterday with a friend of mine for over 4 hours straight to get my voice better on the stream. Holy moly, I'm always fighting with my microphone. I got here 5 microphones laying down right now to check out how we could get it better and stuff. And oh, thank you. Thank you, Byram, for noticing.
No.
Unofficial expedition?
I think he prefers. We're already dead.
You
We're
worked
just catching
so
up.
incredibly hard yesterday. Yeah, I still cut out. I have no idea why.
Yeah, I heard that one recently.
I don't know.
You can really find this.
No.
You know, in terms of quality of my screens and the camera, I never have any problems. It always works. It works always. But my audio, I'm always fighting with my audio. What does this one? Hello.
A different flower?
Oh, really?
No, the one you suggested earlier.
I want to pick her flowers.
Oh, I'm glad. These garlands are our last farewell. I want them all to feel special.
That's how you finally delivered 16 times the deed. Hey, that's a good one.
I have a garland saved for you too.
Thank you, Michael. And till next time, hopefully.
Farewell garland. It will be a welcome home garland. Good luck.
Who tried for ages to figure out why his mic got out, and he discovered it was actually due to Windows Update checking for updates in the back. That's a good. I'm gonna put it off, Mick. I hope that's it. You know, it will probably be something stupid like that, for me too.
Oh, Luna's playing. You two would make a cute couple.
If you say so.
Or maybe something already happened, huh?
Never have any problems with anything. You know, my capture card always works. Got a feeling she is going to be important for the rest of the game. I don't know why. Hey, Maurice, could you remind it's a AA French game? No, I'm not gonna do that. I say it's a AAA French game.
I feel sorry for her.
Always work. Famous last works. Yeah.
Look at her. She looks sad. Maybe she's a prisoner too.
She's nobody.
Stuck in the same cycle with us. Silly her.
Only you could choose empathy at a moment like this.
Don't know. Why am I even checking those trash cans?
I couldn't do
Still have to hope that there's something in some of those trash cans, maybe.
You don't have to.
Hey, we could say finally something that's good that comes out of France.
Blasphemers.
Another one.
As a Dutch guy, I can say that. What the freaky deaky do is that? Hello?
Hello?
Is it me you're looking for?
Gustav, help!
Sorry. Really need to grow up. This guy is so hard to beat. Okay, this is the first time I'm trying it, so... Holy moly! Yeah, this one is a little bit too much, I think. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I'm already dead. Which act is this? This is the first one. Yeah. Pixel slap a parry him. Yeah. I know.
Let's leave it alone, Gustav. It's dangerous.
You skills first. I'm gonna do this one a different time. And I'm gone. I don't want to stay there for an hour or so. Just don't care enough for that. Such a polite enemy, it let you go. Yes.
Oh, I think I'm gonna vomit.
But yeah, this is still the prologue of the game. So, for you, what is this one for sure? This one is definitely the best game I've played this year so far. And I'm not even exaggerating. Yeah, but then if that's true, then even Super Mario Bros. Is you can even compare Super Mario Bros. 3 to Elden Ring, because you need to find out how the boss fights work. Then every game is Elden Ring. American soldier. Yeah, this is definitely something else. But I also enjoyed South of Midnight.
I see your apprentices.
Some people had complaints about that game, and I still have no idea why.
Here. Sophie
That
asked
game
us to
was
bring you your card.
brilliant, I think. Nice story, great graphics, fun gameplay. Overall, just a really fun game. It's in my top 3 best games I've played this year. For sure.
You did this.
Gentlemen, that was supposed to be between us, yeah?
With this game is, yeah, it's a mix between linear and exploration. It's exactly in between.
Thanks, guys.
It's a linear exploration game.
See you at the festival?
Don't leave without saying goodbye.
Yeah, of course not.
Facial expressions are also well done.
I know that face.
You mean a lot to them. I can tell.
Well, that's the thing. She did grow through the game.
Legacy can take many forms, right?
Yeah.
You told
I love the fact I saw some people reacting on X, Like, at first they were all like, oh, it's a woke game and it is a bad game south of midnight. I'm not gonna play it because woke, because baby, blah, blah, blah. Then they played and then they were like, oh shit, it's actually pretty good. How do I fix my narrative on that one?
Oh, you like uniforms now?
You know, if a game is good, it's good, and I don't care who worked on it. Sweet baby ink, bad baby ink, no baby ink, dead baby ink, I really don't care.
This too is your legacy.
In a way, it's yours too.
But I must say, when I started this game, I did thought it was pretty refreshing to play a game where the main protagonist is a guy. That's something you don't see that much anymore. Almost like that movie, Team America: World Police, in the first scene where they go to France, where everything is a baquet and everything is a croissant. You know what problem is with something like Sweet Baby Inc. A lot of companies got extra money from their governments if they included more woke agenda stuff and more inclusive. I don't want to use the word woke that much, but more inclusive stuff in their media, and they got a lot of money for that. So, but they, yeah, that's correct. It's Charlie Cox from Daredevil that does the voice. So they got a lot of money. That's why a lot of big games, to finance their game, they used it to, yeah, to get people in, like Sweet Baby Inc. or others. Yeah, I do. It's already changed. You already see it changing. You know, it doesn't do a thing. You know, I don't believe in more inclusive things in the gaming industry. I don't believe in it. And the reason why I don't believe in it is that I believe in good people working hard that deserve to be on that place, and not because of their gender or skin color or sexual preference. I personally think that people should always be working on a place that they deserve to work at, and not being privileged to do that. You know, it's the same. If I would ever fly with a plane and the plane says, yeah, we are the most inclusive pilot system in the world, I won't fly with them. I want the best pilots in the world. I don't care if the pilot is white, black, or with green hair, or if it's a he, they, him. I don't care. I just want the best person to do that. Not the most inclusive person, but that's my idea. You know, at first the game is a little bit like strange. What is going on? A lot of people don't know what is going on right now, but it's like a fantasy world, and in this fantasy world they got overrun by some kind of paintress. And this paintress is like a magical creature, and every year he paints a number, and that number goes down, and everybody that has that age will die. So when this year she's 33, this year she became 33. So yeah, that's why she now died. She left. And that's a little bit the premise of the game. And now a group of people are getting... yeah, the paintress is a little bit Thanos. Exactly. It's almost as gripping as that moment in The Last of Us 1, where his daughter died, Jill's daughter. And now the people that are left can choose to go to war to the island and go to war against the paintress. Festival de Expedition. What did you not like about this game? I have nothing. I like everything about this game. There's not a single thing that I didn't like about this game. You were quite shaken. You know what I still think is the most horrible or most sad moment in video games, and I think it never got better than that scene. That's the Dominic Santiago moment with Maria in Gears of War 2. I don't think I ever saw. I literally cried the first time I played through that scene. If you know what I mean.
You see that? Told you we'd be.
And the problem with that scene is not a lot of people know about that scene because it took you at least like 6-7 hours into the game
Wanna go take a look?
before you got to that part of the game. So
Maybe later.
that was so hard.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
So hard.
You go.
And then what happens to Dominic in part 3? That really puts like the whole thing together.
An excess of wine again. Thank your sister for her generosity.
Oh, and try to enjoy yourself. Don't drink alone, you weirdo.
Yeah, right. Enjoy myself.
It Takes Two. Okay. Oh. Not exactly Ultimate God. You know, you've been on a war
Let's at least check
to
on my
fight for your girlfriend and to find of your wife, to find her back, to finally find her back.
You came.
I wasn't sure if I should.
Oh my
Been
goodness.
avoiding us.
And that moment when Dominic walked away. Indeed, also Gears 3 with that scene. Oh!
I heard Seba filled my spot.
Yeah.
Only 600 subs to win. It's getting crazy close, Ibanave.
Do you?
I still can't believe it, you guys, that I'm close to 100,000 subscribers. I think that's insane. That makes no sense in my world.
More like
You know, I live really modest. I have no one, literally no one knows that I'm doing this in my surrounding. Yeah, my family knows it, but
you misunderstand.
the rest, nobody knows it.
If you say so.
I just finished calibrating the Lumina converter. We can look.
Perfect.
Hey.
Well, it's lit. I haven't noticed anything, but...
Nah, she doesn't.
And also a good thing is that I never get recognized here.
She hates, but
Ah, right. You were both apprenticed to her parents.
Well, it is a ode to Final Fantasy. The creator of this game was a big fan of Final Fantasy VIII.
yeah.
To be honest, I see Final Fantasy VIII a lot in this game. Final Fantasy VIII is also, yes, I'm gonna say it, my favorite PlayStation 1 era Final Fantasy. Yes, I do think Final Fantasy VIII was better than Final Fantasy VII.
What about
I'm
you?
one of those guys.
Heard you were elected Commander 32.
I've already claimed Alon's office.
Loved your split second video. Yeah, I thought, you know, it's on steal right now, and
If we fail,
it's a game I never did a video on. I thought it was a fun game back in the day, so yeah, it needed a video.
Continue. We'll pick up.
Split second. I got a lot of people saying that they found my split second video a lot of fun to watch.
Gustav, we got something for you.
You were only trained by the best stealth ninja in the world. And we all know who that is.
They'll definitely want that for the museum.
Master Sensei
Record of the expedition that
Steven
destroyed
Seagal.
Beatrice.
Oh, and if you find journals from the other expeditions, make sure you save them for us.
I shall faithfully record all our adventures, every strange and wondrous thing.
Well, you even have the Squall logo, Ultimate God.
I can do that. And in
I promise.
From Final Fantasy VIII.
Promise.
Adrien,
I'll use everything you taught us, Monsieur G.
I should check on my own.
Persona is, by the way, they're also really good. Would you tell us about its current performance of this game? Pretty simple, 720p upscale to 1080p at 30 FPS.
I can't believe you're working.
Tristan dragged me here.
I do, because I looked exactly like him as a teenager, just darker hair.
Theoretically.
Ah, you're lucky. When I was younger, I looked like Cartman, and now I look like Peter Griffin. So, yeah, I was not that lucky.
I trust your calculations.
Thanks.
It's a good strategy, tracing this.
On Xbox, this is Series S, yeah. And on PlayStation 5 and Series X, it's 1080p, 60 FPS, upscaled to 4K, or 1800p from what I could gather.
Gustav, just the man I wanted to see.
You want a rematch, don't you?
Well, it's my last chance.
After tomorrow, you'll...
That's tomorrow.
Now let's do. Fire
Who am I
away.
to deny you?
Fire away, fire away.
How many years ago was the fracture?
67.
You're kidding. This is...
Yes.
67 years ago.
Brilliant.
What are you talking about?
All right, fine. Which was the first expedition to depart?
0.
Expedition 0.
Correct. What is Illumina?
The MSI Claw looks cool. I would love to get my hands on one of those someday. Abilities to internalize, blah blah blah.
Using a pictose in battle after enough time.
Put him in a sleep hold.
Well done. Well done.
You know, I still think you guys know I've got all systems. I've got Xbox S, Series X, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 5 Pro, Nintendo Switch. I got all systems. I'm gonna get PlayStation,
you big soft.
Xbox, Nintendo Switch too.
All right, all right.
But
it's a token. Go and spend it on something.
I still think that this console is the most fun to play with. You know, it's such a
Relics from before the fracture.
underrated console.
Kind of you to share.
I may not be able.
A lot of naysayers, a lot of people complaining about the Series S holding back the generation.
Yes.
And it's 100% untrue, by the way.
Hey, Amandine.
Oh, hey.
Certainly.
On it.
All right, let's see what you've got.
Well, it can, if you like the One X more than the Series S. Okay. I think the Series S is more interesting than the One X, but One X was just an Xbox One that's a little bit faster. Series S has like cool extra new features like FPS boost and all the things. Yeah, but on the other hand, Baldur's Gate 3 became better because of the Series S on all other systems.
What can I say? I'm an optimist.
Developers believe that this device is the reason. No. Every game still has to be on, you know, even something like Black Myth Wukong should have no problem running on a Series S. I know some people will say different, but right now I'm playing this game. This isn't the same engine as Black Myth Wukong. I personally think it looks even better than Black Myth Wukong. This one runs on the Series S, so no problem.
More ready to go than you are.
Wukong was definitely bought by Sony, that they can get like a year of exclusivity on their system.
Look, I know we've been over
there was never a problem getting Wukong on Xbox Series S or X. Never.
1 year out there is better than 9.
I know you think that, but it's...
If anyone should stay, it's you. You have friends and family who want you here.
So do you.
You know, as long as there is a Nintendo Switch and as long as there are low-tier PCs, the Series S is not holding anything back.
Lumi has not much. Besides, this way...
Well, they actually deals was to make Xbox look like a... No, I don't.
Sure,
you know, they just have contracts and they need to keep to those contracts.
You're pretty
That's
proud
it.
I'm not messing around.
Yeah, I'm a little bit with that. It's also a money question, by the way, Grinharf, you know? I do think that it definitely helped this studio that they got Gamepass money for this game, so they could get extra people in optimizing this game for the Series S. Yeah, it's still there, the Nintendo tester. Only it's not at the Nintendo tester. It's now at the Nintendo tester, but it's still there, the Nintendo YouTube channel. Darn it, too early.
No shame losing to a superior fighter.
In the end, the Series S is the best thing for consumers there is. Wukong, I really don't like Wukong. I played it on PC. I played it on my PlayStation 5. I don't... overrated as F, that game.
Hope your Lumina converter works better than your dueling.
Those expansion cards are a little bit too expensive, in my opinion. You're correct on that one, right, G?
Let me paint death!
Oh, nice. Oh, Space Marine 2 was also overrated. You're right, Countess. That's true. A 1X, you can get a 1X for dirt cheap. That's not gonna... No.
This was weak.
Darn it. Those parries are so hard sometimes. Here we go. You know, I heard nothing about the Days Gone remaster. You know, almost zero influencers got a key for the remaster. It's dead silent from Sony's end about the Days Gone remaster at the moment. I didn't even got a mail that it's out yet. Normally I get everything in my mail. Sony is dead silent about the Days Gone remaster, and I have no idea why.
Congratulations, you beat a teenager. Take this token as your well-deserved prize.
Yeah, I love how they added the fighting system.
Emma's here. Your sister's going to be looking for you.
Our beloved chief counselor. Yeah, I should go talk to him.
Not a single remaster upgrade is worth $10 or £10 or whatever.
Don't get too...
My darling sister.
It should have been a free update.
If I don't say goodbye.
Same goes for the Last of Us Part 2 update, that should have been free. Same goes for the Legend of Zelda updates for the Nintendo Switch 2. They should have been free. It's an update with some quality of life extras in it. And they dare to ask money for it. I think that's super anti-consumer and super bad for the business. Yeah, I already got all 3 of the tokens.
Come on, give it a whirl.
Sure, why not?
Great. I'll trade it for 1 token.
That's what I say, it's an upgrade. It's not a remaster, it's an upgrade. But why should I pay $10 for a upgrade? That's like if I buy a new video card for my PC, I also need to rebuy the game.
You won't regret it. Probably.
I find that super anti-consumerism.
The chief counselor honors us with her presence.
It's some parts it's really good looking, Countess. Some parts it's okay-ish, but keep in mind I'm playing this on a Series S right now, so
This is
the graphics are turned down a bunch.
I've heard you say otherwise.
You and I both know that.
You should put that in your speech. Very motivating.
You know what the worst part is at Sony, at PlayStation? They can actually make PlayStation 4 games be PlayStation 5 or Gen 5, Gen 9 aware. They can actually do that.
So many things you can.
You know, they did it with God of War 2018, they did it with Ratchet & Clank, they did it with even with Days Gone. Run those games at 60 FPS from the PlayStation 4 version on PlayStation 5. So it is possible, they have the technique. But they don't want to use the technique that much because this way they can resell the game again.
Doing great work.
And those idiots pay for it. Hey, target locked. Welcome to the stream.
Just take care of
me. You're her guardian too.
You know, they literally showed us that they can make every game Gen 9 aware on the PlayStation 5 without any troubles, without anything to do with it. But they won't because it doesn't make that much money.
She really wants off this island.
Don't you have a speech to give?
We might... Oh, people were pissed off at me yesterday. I saw the trailer for Days Gone remastered, and I posted it on my... from Ben Studios, and I posted it on my X with the message, you know, maybe they should have brought this game to more platforms like Nintendo Switch 2 and Xbox. This way they can make the extra money, let some other people have fun with it, and make a series, make a part 2. Nah, the amount of hate that I got from some people.
You mean the one you so kindly wrote for me?
My goodness.
Just suggestions. I thought it might help you understand.
I do.
They were really pissed that I said something like that.
Yeah, time for my speech.
The Orden 1886, yeah, but you know, those games don't make money. It's way better to re-release The Last of Us and The God of War every year. It makes way more money than real cool games from some years ago. You know, this is the 3rd year in a row that we are getting a new package for The Last of Us. First we got a The Last of Us Part 2 remastered. Then we got a The Last of Us Part 1 remastered. And now we got a double pack for only $109.99. Idiots.
Expeditioners. The Sword of Lumiere. We honor your dedication.
I don't know, Arya, maybe if you're saying bad things, then maybe that's why.
You dedicate your final year of life to keeping hope alive for all of Lumiere. Some of you are leaving to change the world. Others to discover
But Oblivion
the
runs at
secrets of our
420p,
universe.
upscale to 1260p on Series S. Okay,
Some to protect loved ones.
good. There was also this guy that said, you
Others
guys
to
don't
find
deserve
meaning
Forza
in our
Horizon on
short
PlayStation.
lives.
Oh.
As you sail into the unknown, know that Lumiere stands with you.
Last week I had one guy, he was really pissed off at me. He was really mad about, you're a PC fanboy. No, I'm not a PC fanboy. I barely play. Then you're an Xbox fanboy. No. Right now, and I put in a video a photo of me holding the PlayStation 5 controller while I was playing Final Fantasy, and I think he shut down. He didn't know what to say anymore.
Let the world once again watch the sunrise without
If you watched a video, I have no idea. I haven't seen it, Arya.
May the wind of renewal take you to the ends of the earth.
Yeah, I like video games. I don't care on what box it is played. You know, if it's played on a Xbox or on a PlayStation or on a Nintendo Switch, I don't care.
Tomorrow comes.
I play on every system that I can get my hands on.
Thanks to you. Expedition 33.
But imagine, there are like grown men like in their 40s fighting on the internet over a plastic box that plays video games from a company that don't even know that they exist. Imagine being that stupid. Wow. Gonna get myself something to drink.
Get ready.
You're old. How did you?
I think that's the guy that's Gollum. This guy, the old guy, that's played by Andy Serkis. I think, if I'm correct.
Fall back!
Yeah. You can leave your head on.
Stop! Come on, we need to go! He's not following. Putain! What the fuck? Who the fuck was that?
Merde! What do we do now?
Regroup at the rally point. The indigo tree.
Oh, petit pain! Petit pain! I still got a feeling that Microsoft Xbox is going to buy up Crytek pretty soon, so I still think that makes perfect sense that Xbox will buy up Crytek. One, do stuff. Thanks, Slappa. Till next time. Yeah, I think the rumors were there for years already that Crytek would become a first-party studio. And I think it makes perfect sense, you know? It's definitely a studio that fits the Xbox Microsoft mentality. It has its own engine. Microsoft loves to own engines. So, and it's a highly underrated engine, you know. There are not many games running on CryEngine, but CryEngine is, I think, better at the moment than Unreal Engine. Yes, I went there. I think Unreal Engine 5 is highly overrated. So, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 runs on CryEngine. You know, Unreal Engine 5 is an amazing engine. Not for this generation of consoles only. It runs like on this generation. How is it going with the 100k? I'm still waiting, Sep. That will take a few more weeks, I think. If it maybe even longer, I don't know. Yeah, that's true. I got a feeling that Microsoft is going to pick up Crytek anytime soon. You know, I said this already in my PlayStation 5 Pro video. And I got a lot of people who were laughing about it. But yeah, this game is going to look amazing on the next gen consoles. This part is so incredibly good, by the way. Look at this. And this is Series S, you guys. You know, if you can keep that in mind and you see what's at hand here in terms of light effects and in terms of shadows and in terms of lumen and everything that's going on right now in this game. Oh, I need to... I always forget that. Yes. You know, in terms of games that run on the Unreal Engine 5, this is one of the better ones. I think this one is up there with... Indiana Jones didn't need... Ray tracing is... Let's be really... You guys, let's be really honest with each other. Was there ever one video game that needed ray tracing? I'm still waiting on the first game with ray tracing that I'm like, yeah, wow, now this adds something to the game. I did see Indiana Jones on PC. I've got a 4080 PC. And still, yeah. Oh, thank you, Drunk NATO. Yeah. You know, a couple of... You guys should check out my video on Half-Life 2. The 360 version on Xbox Series S, where I show off some reflections on the water that look better than anything I've ever seen in any ray tracing effect ever. Wow. And that game is what, like 10, 12 years old? Baked in reflection can look as good. Yeah, that's baked in. It's insane how good it looked. Yeah, I know. Tracing, yeah. But they can trace a lot of things. Let's just make games fun. You know, those engines are only there for the graphic. You know, in my opinion, first make a good game and then check out the graphics. You know, this game would have probably been even better in Unreal Engine 4. But I do get it why studios pick the newer engine. It's the new toy. It's the new system. They want to really show off what they can do in their qualities. But for us gamers, most of them don't care. You know, I had exactly what you said, Mike. I just did a video on Forza Horizon 5 on PlayStation 5 Pro. And yes, the PlayStation 5 Pro version of Forza Horizon looks better. It's the best version on any system, without a doubt. But you really need to pause the game, go into photo mode, and then turn around the car, and then you can really see the ray tracing effects. You know, if you are driving 200 or 300 kilometers an hour in that game, you're not checking out if there's any reflections on your side mirror or whatever of the car. You don't care. Yeah, that's why I think we are right now at a impasse of hardware. You know, Series S, Series X is going to be, even the next gen consoles won't be a really big step up, I think. You know, if you see the step up from PlayStation 5 to PlayStation 5 Pro, it's minimal. It's ultra minimal step up. The step up from a PlayStation 4 to a PlayStation 4 Pro was really big. And the step up from a PlayStation 4 to a PlayStation 5 was also really big. But you will see step ups from now on that are smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. You know, we definitely are at a, yeah, we've hit the roof a little bit in terms of graphics and stuff. And also with the fact that the Nintendo Switch 2 is coming out, a lot of developers are going to jump into developing games for the Nintendo Switch 2 because that makes a lot of money. Nintendo Switch 2 is a console that will be slower than the Series S. So, yeah. Make up your mind what's gonna happen.
Hey.
Yeah, but the quality mode was already almost performance mode on the Forza Horizon 5. You know, I found it really funny in the Digital Foundry. No bad words about Digital Foundry, by the way, but they also have their little tricks, what they do. And what did they do in the video? They first did a performance mode from PlayStation 5 base versus Xbox Series X. They showed off that the Series X actually was running the performance mode better than the PlayStation 5 mode. And later on, they showed performance mode next to the performance mode from the PlayStation 5 and forgot about the Series X version of the performance mode. Didn't say a word about it. And only said, yeah, the performance mode looks to be the quality mode from the PlayStation 5. That way it looked like Digital Foundry said it's the quality mode from the Xbox Series X running at 60 FPS. No. Performance mode from the Series X and the PlayStation 5 Pro are nearly the same. They were so incredibly close that they had to rework it a little bit so that it looked a little bit better on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Yeah, that's how they did it. And I'm no problems. I would have done the same probably. There was so little difference. Should Xbox do a budget console next generation? You know what I think that Xbox is going to do next generation? They will bring a Series S handheld console. I think the Series S is going to be next gen.
We did it, Gustav. Let's see if your invention lives up to its reputation, shall we?
We're now in a time that everybody knows how to work with a Series S. If you still don't know how to work with a Series S, it's better probably to get out of the way. You know, I hear people saying they can optimize the game. You know, they've optimized Doom Eternal for the Nintendo Switch. They've optimized Hogwarts Legacy for a Nintendo Switch. They even got Arkham Knight running on a Nintendo Switch. They are complaining about the Xbox Series S that's like, what, 10 times faster? Look at this. Why is there no photo mode in this game? There needs to be a photo mode. Why is there no photo mode? What if they can do Witcher 3, indeed, stuff like that on a Nintendo Switch? On a base Nintendo Switch. Keep that in mind, not even the Switch 2, on a base Nintendo Switch. You know, I got Hogwarts Legacy on my Nintendo Switch. Yeah, she's really cool, she's badass. That's also the problem. We've already seen that people don't want to pay 800 euros for a new system. They went nuts about the fact that the PlayStation 5 Pro costs 800 euros. They went complete berserk at the idea of a Nintendo Switch 2 costing 500 euros. So, what do you think Xbox is gonna be doing? They're gonna be making a handheld system for around 300, maybe 400 euros max, with the specs of a Series S, and get that one out of the door. That's what they're gonna do. Yeah, Sony PS5 digital, indeed. That's why I think that Microsoft made the right choice in not bringing a... I think you are getting paid by... I wish I got paid by Microsoft. No, what I'm using is common sense target locked. I know for some people that's a hard thing. But man, do I wish I got paid by Microsoft. That would be really cool, by the way. Microsoft, please pay me. If you are watching me, please pay me. I would be so happy. Pay me. Oh, definitely. You know, fun fact, by the way, that if I was paid by Microsoft or Sony or Nintendo or whatever, I had to say that, actually. If I don't say that, I actually could end up in jail here in the Netherlands. Because then it will be like fake advertising. So I could end up for 3 years in jail. Yeah, you have to declare it. Indeed, I would be extremely effed if I was paid and didn't say I was paid. Yeah, I think so too. Is the Xbox Series... What series? Good for gaming on 1080p? Yeah, sure. Well, Xbox On is literally... They are owned by Microsoft. It's owned by Xbox UK. So they are literally stating on their channel that they are paid by Microsoft. They are literally owned by Xbox UK.
Well, that... will help.
If I was paid by Microsoft, do you think that Microsoft would say, hey Maurice, please also make a Xbox or PlayStation and a Nintendo channel and be positive about those two too?
Nice.
Do you think we should switch? Why? You can still play the same games on the Series S as you do on the Series X.
Nice.
That's also a bad question. I have no idea. Maurice, your thoughts on Series S running Oblivion at 420p upscaled? Well, it looked upscaled, so what's the problem? I don't really what. You know, all games are upscaled. You know, even on PlayStation 5 Pro, it's upscaled. So, yeah. You know, it's not that I see the base resolution. You know, for my part, the game runs at 144p upscale to 1080p. If it looks good, it looks good. I don't care. Yeah, it can go as low as 420p in some instances, I know. But some people like to say that it runs at 420p. No, in some instances it can go as low as. But that's perfectly fine. So what you're seeing on screen is actually 1260p, so that's actually pretty good. You know, the game runs at around 1080p on the PlayStation 5 Pro that's being upscaled to 4K. Should that game also be said that it's really bad on PlayStation 5 Pro because it's only 1080p on a €800 console? They never promise that. You can't find a single thing where Microsoft promised the same frame rates as the Series X. Never. Not a single. You know, then you would also say, but PlayStation promised us 4K 60 FPS with all games on PlayStation 5. Do all games run at 4K 60 FPS on PlayStation 5? Hey, there are even games that run at only 30 FPS on PlayStation 5 and Series X. Did you know that? How about that? Ooh, now it gets hard. Now it gets hard. No, they didn't. No. It's always in the small words. So if you are watching these shows, they are really, really, really smart in what kind of words they use. Do you know what they said about the Xbox Series S? All games could go up to 1440p at 120 FPS. And it's the two words that they used in all those sentences that makes it so much fun. Go up. Or up to. Those two words. Those are the most important. Up to 1440p at 120 FPS. That's what all of them said. Up to. Some people that don't listen that well or listen at all, here all games will be at 1440p at 60 FPS. No, they never changed it. They never changed it. It was always like that from the start. From the first day they announced the Series S. It's never been different. They've never promised us 60 FPS on every game. A few YouTubers said it. A few websites said all games will be 60 FPS on the Series S. Microsoft Xbox never, ever said that once. Not a single time. You can fact check me, by the way. Of course, you know, that happens with every generation. You know, at the start of the generation, you see a lot of games that still run on the older engines and stuff, so they run way better. And later on in the generation, you get games that will run lesser and lesser and lesser. I think from this year on, we're going to see way more games on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and even PlayStation 5 Pro that will be played at only 30 FPS. I still think that GTA 5 on Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and even PlayStation 5 Pro will only be 30 FPS. Did I walk back? Yeah, I walked back. No, I think it's on Series S. It's like 80% at 60 FPS and 20% at 30 FPS. And on Series X and PlayStation 5, it's like 98% on 60 FPS and 2% on 30 FPS. But there are some big games that only run 30 FPS on PlayStation 5 and Series X. Take, for instance, what's it called? Empire of the Ants. 30 FPS on every system, except for PlayStation 5 Pro, by the way. PlayStation 5 Pro is the only system that can run that game at 60 FPS. Another example, the Medium. The Medium only runs at 30 FPS on every system. But Gotham Knights never got optimized for the current gen. So I can't count Gotham Knights with this.
A house?
Looks abandoned.
We can use that.
The indigo tree is not too far from here. If anyone else made it, they'll regroup there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that 2,000 games are on sale right now. Well, it could be worse. Last week they had like a sale on the Nintendo Switch and it had over 4,500 games on sale. Oh, Gotham Knight. Oh, Gotham Knights. No, sorry. Gotham Knights. You're true. Sorry, Ultima God. You are absolutely right. I'm confused with Arkham Knight. Sorry. You are 100% true. My apologies. You are right. My fault.
We can use that.
I was confused with Arkham Knight. Hey, yeah.
Here we are, huh?
Yeah. The continent. The indigo trees over
Took
there.
me 2 hours to take a look at all games. You're a human after all. Yeah, sorry. But look at this. This is such a gorgeous place we're at right now. And for Series S, you know, right now I'm also playing this next to me on a 65-inch 4K TV. A Dead Space remake, yeah. So there are a lot of games that only run at 30 FPS on all systems. So, did they lie? No. Can you switch over to the Series X so we can see how it looks? Sure thing. No problem. If everybody's fine with that, then I'm switching to Series X. Right now. Sure. Okay. Now let's do that. Here we go. That's how fast I switch. Quality or performance, I don't mind. Yeah, I also don't mind. Quality or performance. You know, let's play in quality mode, because that's a little bit more in the range of the Series S version. So we can see if it looks that much better for you guys. Continue. This is... Yeah, I'm going to quality mode right now. So this is the game in quality mode. I do need to put motion blur on. No, Series S has one mode only. You know, in the quality mode, I think it's better to have all the post-processing stuff on. Yeah, it definitely looks somewhat sharper.
Here we are, huh?
Yeah. The continent. The indigo trees over there.
can even change to PlayStation 5 Pro if you also want to see how the game runs on PlayStation 5 Pro. Draw distance is really good at this one in quality mode. That's also what I showed off in my video. You can really tell. It's not a big step up. It's not like insane amounts of graphical fidelity extra. It's... There's definitely a difference, but it's not like it's life-changing or anything, Hibanabe. It looks to be a little bit sharper. A little less pop-in. Wait until I jump over to the PlayStation 5 Pro version. Also nothing that different. Let's change to 60 FPS mode for a second. Put those off. Oh, I need to give my characters. No, but no, it's perfectly fine. No. Yes. Perfect dodger. And I'm gonna give her the critical burn. Not sure. No, let's check out. My PC needs an upgrade, but my wallet says no. Let's see. Lumière assault. No, I'm gonna shoot him first. That's better. Skills, Lumière assault. Here we go. That's better. For her, I'm gonna give emulsion. Now we get burn. Oh, darn it. Nothing to... That's correct. You know, this looked really good, by the way. Any plans on getting and doing content for the Switch 2 when it comes out? Yeah, I already bought a Nintendo Switch 2 waiting for the 5th of June. So I'm definitely going to be doing some... I even took 3 weeks off. So I will be doing a lot of videos on Nintendo Switch 2. No Steam Deck. I already own a ROG Ally, so for me the Steam Deck would be a step back. Not that it's bad. Did you get the Mario Kart bundle? Yes, I got the Mario Kart bundle. Yes, it was ultra easy to get my hands on a Nintendo Switch here in the Netherlands. I walked into the store at like 11 AM and I was the first person to pre-order one. Are you going to a Switch event where you can try it out early? No, I wasn't invited. You know, as a Nintendo content creator, I'm 0. You're not in USA? No, I'm not in USA. Thankfully not. No. I pre-ordered my Nintendo Switch 2-3 weeks ago already or something. Really hope they will bring this game to Nintendo Switch 2, by the way. Maddie, big fan of yours. No, well, hi Maddie. Are you related to Turks? No, no, I'm 100% Dutch. I even did a ancestry test like 5-6 years ago or something, and I couldn't be more Dutch than I am. It was literally impossible to be more Dutch than I was. It was crazy.
This one looks dangerous.
Mega Drive still getting new games, indeed. That's true. No, this is Series X that I'm playing on right now. I just changed to Series X.
I'll do it.
Double parry. Ooh, baby. I'm getting good at this. Definitely need to do an overcharge. I don't have an overcharge. Darn it.
Prologue is flowing.
Oh, another. Oh, no! Okay.
Let's finish this.
Let me take death!
A storm is coming.
I'd rather choose Split Second. Split Fiction was, by the way, also really good. But I don't think that Split Fiction was as good as It Takes Two. That says more about It Takes Two than it does about Split Fiction, because Split Fiction was an amazing game. But it felt more of the same as It Takes Two. Amazing game, don't get me wrong. But it's not, yeah. Let's see, what do I need to do? Cakes. No, I'm gonna shoot him first. Holy moly! I did it! That was like a sub bus or something.
Well, that will help.
Hey there. I don't think that Oblivion should even be nominated for a Game of the Year. It's a remaster. Remasters should, in my opinion, never get nominated for Game of the Year. A Game of the Year should be about a game of that year. Remakes, but then it should really be a remake, you know, something like Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 4. That's a real remake. Where they base it on a game and completely remake it with new story, new gameplay, everything. A remaster, no, never. Yeah, South of Midnight is perfect. It's a super nice game. Do you guys have any idea how lucky I was, by the way? When I completed that level just now. That boss fight. That guy was tough. On the Series S, it performs perfectly fine. You know, if you go back to the start of the video, I've been playing for over 1.5 hours on Series S. This game. I just changed to Series S, Series X for a minute. Double counter. Whoop, whoop. I'm getting the hang of these counters, by the way.
Let the ink flow.
Do you guys want to see how it runs on the PlayStation 5 Pro for a minute? Let me know. If you're curious, I will show it the game also on PlayStation 5 Pro. I've got one yes. Please let me know. If you're curious, then you have seen all the systems. Sure, I'm curious. No, let's go. Not too long. Not too long, because... So this is PlayStation 5 Pro. Maurice, but Xbox is killing physical games. Yeah, so glad with that. I've been buying digitally for almost 15 years now. Oh man, I'm really happy that they finally stopped making physical games. That's such a big plus for me as a consumer. Because now I always needed to pay that extra physical tax for people having. No, I'm 100% true. You know, it's actually more expensive to bring games to physical. You saw that with Alan Wake 2, for instance, and Baldur's Gate. Those games only costed like $59.99. If they had to bring those games on disc day one, those games would have costed $79.99 just because of it being on disc. On disc, companies, they don't make any money on games of disc because the people that make the discs need to make some money. The guys that make the prints need to get some money. The guys that make the discs need to get some money. Then there's like the companies that make some money. Then there's like the truck drivers that need some money. Then like the whole planning idea to get all those games on all those different places that need to get some money, and the stores that need to get some money. And if they resell it, it even costs them money. So yeah. Would be way better if they stopped making physical media. It would be way cheaper for me. That sounded rehearsed. No, it is not rehearsed. It's factually true. I think I'm at the same part on the PlayStation 5. Or, yeah, almost. So this is on PlayStation 5 Pro. I think I'm at a boss fight. Ah, yes. Yeah, but the problem with physical media is that the moment a game comes out on a physical disc, the digital version becomes more expensive. So they can recoup the costs of the physical disc. You know, the games are getting so big that they don't even fit on a disc anymore. So why, you know, nothing comes out on discs anymore. Music is not coming out on discs anymore. Movies we are streaming. And with games, there's still like a group that like really pissed off that we're still having to get it on. Yeah, it's not a big step up. Yeah, it's definitely a step up. I can definitely see it's more sharper. An Ultra HD dual layer. Blu-ray, I think it's like only 50 GB, by the way, on a Ultra HD. That is a dual layer. Yeah, they can do double disc, but that would make it cost even more. So, yeah. No, I'm glad. I'm super glad that physical media is finally dying. I can't wait to the day that it's completely gone, and I mean that. I'm so done. Now I'm gonna check out. It's definitely physical media, and then there are people that are saying, yeah, but if I don't buy it on disc, I don't own it. No, you don't own it even if you buy it on disc. Have you ever read the small letters when you buy a game and you start up the game and you get like a whole line of text? What do you think that's saying? You own it. That's what it's saying. You own nothing. Not even, it's even a fact, and if you watch it, even the first games that came out on like the Nintendo and even the Atari 2600, you didn't own that game. The only thing you had was a license to use that game. Except back then, they could fully put that game on a disc. And they could not optimize those games. So some way that got some people thinking, this should replace the text. You own shit. Yeah, exactly. You don't own a thing. Reeve, do you think we could see Starfield 2 in the future? Yeah, why not? But there's a really good reason for not bringing those games on disc, because it's way too expensive these days. Why do you think that there are so many like limited editions of games on disc? If you go into a store these days, like the gaming, you own it on PC. No, you don't own anything on PC. People really think that, right? I find that so funny. Yeah, let's head back to, let's say, but this is a Xbox channel. Let's go back to my Xbox. I want to play this on my Xbox. That makes way more sense. Oh, here we go. I think it can easily compete for Game of the Year. Yeah. Yeah, but what? Why should they make it so that you can resell a downloaded game? Why should they do that? What's in it for them, for the company? Yeah, that's correct. After that boss, it gets really cool. But I restarted it on my... Yeah, it's still, not even on GOG you actually own the game. There is still small letters that you don't own the game. You can't alter the game, you can't resell the game, stuff like that. You own shit. Only thing GOG has is you can easily use it on different systems and stuff like that, so
be careful.
It's more consumer friendly if you want that one. It's definitely way more consumer friendly on GOG. No, I think digital should not be an option. I think physical should be the option. Because if I want to buy physical, I need to pay extra for the people that want the game on disc. And I don't care about the disc, so I don't want to pay extra money for my games, because some people, like a handful of people, still want a disc for that game. That's correct. That's why you see a lot of games, also on Nintendo, that you need to pay. Nintendo is the perfect example right now. on Nintendo Switch 2, you need to pay extra for the physical version than for the digital version.
Why isn't it attacking
So,
us?
like, for instance, Mario Kart World will be 89 euros here in store, but it will be 79 euros digitally in store, so it's 10 euros more cheaper.
An expedition journal. 81. Learn from the ones who came before.
And lay the trail for the ones who come after.
Well, it's 89 here. Where I live, it's 89 euros for the physical copy and 79 euros for the digital copy.
Huge discovery. This is the first Nevron with whom we've been
Shoot
able to
the giant's
communicate.
gun?
It
Okay.
seems stuck in this
I'm gonna
cave.
get me some water.
Gregoire is, as usual, deeply suspicious, but this could change our entire understanding of Nevrons and the Patrons.
Nintendo's prices are crazy. Yeah, but it's Nintendo. They can get away with it, so no problem there. Well, you get a person after Alex. Later on in the game, you get like a area where you find Mel, and after that area with Mel, you can talk with like this ghostly figure, and he can upgrade your weapons.
They communicated with a Nevron.
The dead here don't disappear like in Lumiere. Their chroma stays inside their bodies.
Was negatively surprised. Did you really expect it?
Some did disappear.
A physical game in the bundle?
Something about the way Nevrons kill
I haven't seen a bundle with a physical game in 20 years. Almost. So you are okay with Series S not having a disk drive accessory? Yes, I've got 3 PlayStation 5s and all 3 of them are digital only. I own 0 PlayStation 5s with a disk drive.
Did you kill these people?
And I got 3 Series S's. No problem. I'm actually glad that it doesn't have a disk drive, because this way I can run to every... Yeah, digital is a godsend, you know. If I go downstairs right now, I don't need to first get the disc out of my Series S or Series X, run downstairs, put it in the system, then download all the shit. No, I go downstairs, put on the system, sit down on the couch and play further where I was. No, these bundles always had like digital versions. What gun do I need to shoot? This one? Oh, I can already tell you that the next generation will 100% be digital. And they will let you pay for a external disk drive for way too much. Well, especially for younger children, I think digital is a million times better than physical. You know, if I see my nephews sometimes how they handle their discs. PlayStation 5 is also really cool. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, PlayStation 5 Pro is indeed. I've got a PlayStation 5 Pro digital. I literally could have gotten a disk drive for free for my PlayStation 5 Pro, and I said no. Please give me a digital card so I can buy some games digitally on my PlayStation 5. This is a true fact.
Flares.
Survivors.
Shoot with girl's skill.
Hurry.
Okay. Let's try that. Nothing happens. Maybe I need an upgraded version or something. No, actually a lot of PlayStation 4 titles. Did you ever try Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 on the PlayStation 4 without internet? Install that game. And then come back. Let's see if you own that game.
This will be useful.
It does. Yeah, but you are no, not exceptions. A lot of games are like that. You know, even on PlayStation 4, you don't own any games. You don't own it. You can say you own it in your mind. Maybe you own it, but you don't own it. It's literally in the small lettering. Even if they don't need internet, and even if the game is fully on the disc, you still don't own that game. Yeah, exactly. But that's the problem. A lot of people say, I own the game. No, you don't own the game. The only thing you own is a license to play the game. And if you buy it digitally on disc or if you stream it, there's no difference between them. It's always the same. Such a gorgeous game.
This will be useful. $20.45, yeah. But then again, you know, if you get a fire, if you drop the box or whatever, and the games can break. It's not like, you know, this is a good thing to think about. So you own that game. So the moment one of those games falls off your shelf, it breaks in between. Can you go back to Sony and say, hey guys, I own this game, so I need replacement of this game? Because I own this game? Or will they say, so you broke it? Yeah, buy it again. No one buys an Xbox. That's actually true. You know, I think I am the only person in the world that has an Xbox. See how cool I am? But what is the deal with people saying, I need to own a game? I want to play a game. I don't care if I own that game or if I don't own that game. Who cares? If I'm using Netflix, that would be the same as having a subscription to Netflix and saying, yeah, I'm not gonna watch that movie on Netflix. I'm gonna pay $30 for it because then I own that movie. See how stupid that sounds? And that's the same with games on Game Pass or PlayStation Plus. You know, it doesn't matter if you own the game or rent a game. It's still the same game. There's no difference. You are not better if you own the game. You are not higher up in the ranks if you own the game. You know, I personally think that you are pretty dumb to buy a game that's on Game Pass. It's really dumb. Because first, the people that made these games already got paid. A lot, actually, to get these games on Game Pass. So by playing it on Game Pass, you're actually doing them a favor, because the more these games get played on Game Pass, the more likely in the future they get bigger budgets to make bigger games that also come to Game Pass. No, it's no disrespectful. I think it's really dumb that people still say that renting is stupid. I think that's really dumb. I'm gonna say that has nothing with disrespect. That's just fact. You know, I own the game. Come on. Please. Own the game. I can't hear that word anymore. There are so many dumb people on X2 that are like, you're renting the game, so that's not good. What's the difference? Yes, I am 100 times better than people that say renting is stupid and owning is better. Yeah, I'm better than those people. Yeah, 100%. Thank you, Scoop W. Because I have money in my bank account at the end of the day, and the people that buy those games don't. So who's the smarter person?
The storm is coming.
Fill that in for yourself.
Take cover!
But it's so many times right now. Yeah, you need to own. You don't own a game. If you buy it on disc, if you buy it digitally, whatever you do, you don't own the game. You know, Game Pass and PlayStation Plus are just same as Netflix or iTunes or whatever, what's it called? You know, you can enjoy these things without owning them. There's no problem in that. Yeah, but there is like right now there's like a group on the internet that really likes to put people down. That are like, oh, if you're gaming on Game Pass, you're not doing it good for the game industry, and you're not helping out the game industry, and you don't own the game, and you're bad. No, you're actually helping the game industry by playing these games on these subscription services. Shut up, Maurice. PlayStation owner here have money. Okay, we want to buy games. Okay, I've got 3 PlayStation 5s. What do you want to say, Chow? And I've got over 1,000 games on my PlayStation 5. What do you want to say? Idiots. Yesterday there was also like this guy on Twitter. He was like completely lost it. You know, fanboys are, by the way, even dumber. Fanboys of a console system of like PlayStation fanboys or Xbox fanboys or Nintendo fanboys. Wow, those people are idiots. They are really big. The biggest idiots in the world even. Wow. They're like the bottom of the barrel crappings, you know. It's so dumb if you are a grifter for a console company. That's so dumb. Those are really next level idiots indeed. Wow. Oh no, I have no problem with calling those kind of people idiots. Scooby knows something do. I have no problem with that because I don't need people like those watching my videos. I love gamers that love to game, and I hate people that are constantly complaining about owning games or renting games or PlayStation is better than Xbox or Xbox is better than PlayStation. I don't need those kind of people on my channel. Please, if you don't like that, please leave. Oh. The world would be so better if all those people stop. That would be the best day ever. Oh, I'm so done with those fanboy crap. You know, yesterday too, there was also like a guy, he was completely going out of his mind because I said, you know, bring something like, there's like a remaster for, what's it called? On PlayStation 5, Days Gone. There's a remaster for Days Gone. If I was Sony, I would have said, bring that game to all systems, make money on that game, and make a part 2. That's the only thing I said. Well, some of those PlayStation fanboys, they went completely numbnuts at me. Oh. Well, I will definitely keep singing Hallelujah of Game Pass, and I will definitely keep singing Hallelujah to PlayStation Plus Premium. We will 100% say stuff like that. You know, and I do think that Days Gone is a really cool game and it deserves a bigger audience. Sadly, it flopped on the PlayStation 4 and 5. So now they're doing a remaster to recoup that game. So I was really hoping to bring that game to PlayStation. I'm talking about PlayStation and Xbox. Xbox fanboys are dumb too. But the problem is, right now, there are more and dumber PlayStation fanboys than there are Xbox fanboys. It has probably something to do that the player base is bigger on PlayStation, so you've got more simple-minded people on PlayStation, so yeah, that could be a little bit of a problem. Nintendo fanboys are, those guys are nuts too. You know, all fanboys are idiots. Yeah, it's not one kind of it's all of them. Oh, but I am better than fanboys. Scooby-Doo-Doo-Doo-Doo-Doo. But I am better because I like video games. I love games. I love to play my games. I even loved Forza Horizon, playing Forza Horizon 5 on my PlayStation 5 Pro this last 2 weeks. I've put in almost 20 hours on my PlayStation 5, an Xbox game on a PlayStation, and I loved it. It was so good to play that game on a PlayStation console. I had the best time of my life, and you see some Xbox fanboys going completely nuts on the internet that PlayStation fans don't deserve that game on their system. Bullshit. Bullshit. Everybody needs to play games that they like on the system that they like. You know what the biggest part is? Back in the days in the Sega Nintendo era, you know, it was like kids screaming that the Nintendo was better than the Sega and otherwise, but it's now, these days, it's grown people in their 40s going to war on the internet about a plastic box that plays video games. I actually think that these guys have something like a problem, like maybe microscopic penises or something. It must be something like that. Because otherwise I can't imagine why they would console war.
I would like something with this.
You know, really, it actually pisses me off. If you like a game on Gamepass, go play that game on Gamepass. If you like that, to buy that game, buy the game. But don't tell anybody, yeah, I like to own my games instead of renting it. That's entitlement at its finest. No, that's not an opinion, that's factual true. But you are just really pissed off that I'm making sense right now.
Fuck.
What else? Got it out, dude. Oh.
Fall back!
Putain de merde.
And then... yeah, the harder... But you guys, this is a typical example of guys that can't handle the truth. Because the moment you say something that makes sense and makes them sound like complete idiots on the internet, they go like this, cut it out, dude, and be completely angry and go out of their way to say stuff like this. So it's pretty funny. He needs attention. Yeah, he definitely needs attention. No, I'm quite surprised. Surprised for what? Ignorant and entitled? You came in here being fully entitled and disrespecting everybody. I destroyed your narrative. Now I am the one that's ignorant and entitled. Now that's funny, I think. Yeah, I think so too. Oh, I have no problem. You know, in the 1990s, I rented games every week. And now all of a sudden it's a problem. Dumbasses. Truly dumbasses. wasn't talking about physical or digital people being dumb. Don't get the words that I tell in between or wrong. I just said that people that say owning a game is better than renting a game, those people are stupid. That's what I said. Big difference. If you want to buy it physically, no problem. I'm clearly an Xbox fanboy. You do know, if I was a Xbox fanboy, would I have put Astro Bot as best game of the year in 2024? Yeah, because you guys are completely... You don't know anymore what you need, what you can do with me, because I love games. I don't care about the box that I'm playing it on. Fanboys have a really hard time with guys that only like to play video games, because in their minds you need to choose one of the other, and if you don't choose one of the other, then you guys hate it. And I love my PlayStation just as much as I do love my Xbox. I know, right? Exactly, Days. Hey, Yilmaz! Welcome to the stream, buddy. Depends. If it was a quest, PlayStation 5 or Xbox, let's settle this. I can't settle that because I like both systems. So that's how it works. But in the end, I do think that if you are on a budget and don't want to pay that much for video games, I think you're better off with a Xbox. If you are more into like single player experiences, like for instance The Last of Us, Spider-Man, stuff like that, you are 100% better off with a PlayStation 5. So they have both pros and cons. You know, PlayStation doesn't have a Play Anywhere, for instance, or what is it called? Like they still, even at 2025, they still have cloud saving behind a paywall. That I'm like, what? You need to pay for cloud saves on a PlayStation? Why? And on the other hand, you know, PlayStation 5 has some amazing games. God of War, Ragnarok. I loved Astro Bot. The controller, the dual sense controls, like in Astro Bot or in some of the other games, like that you really get that feedback in the controller. How cool is that? That's next level stuff. I wished Xbox had something like that. So, am I now a PlayStation fanboy target? Please. in the end, the more games get to other systems, the more... Yeah, finally! I was actually complaining about that what was it? 2 weeks ago I was at the International Xbox podcast. I was actually complaining about that you couldn't buy games on the Xbox app. How stupid was that? Wow, that's so dumb that you couldn't buy games on the Xbox app. And still, I must say that the PlayStation app on your phone, it's still 10 times better than that one of the Xbox. It's not even close at how much better it is. It's all the same, you know, even in terms of graphics and stuff, the changes between the two is so small. I also had like a nice discussion. What do they need to win? What do they need to win? I always ask that question. What's this thing they can win? What do they need to win? I have no idea. Is there a prize that they can win? Or does PlayStation get a prize when... What kind of game are they playing? Units sold? Oh, definitely not. PlayStation is definitely gonna sell at least 2 or 3 times more consoles than Xbox. But do you think that it's only the console sales that matter these days? Or does software make more money than the consoles? Think about that one. And then come back to me.
Let me take that!
Careful. It's building up chroma. Let the ink flow. I'll do it. I'm ready.
Oh, 100% sure, Yilmaz. If you see what those guys make in the mobile market, holy moly! And remember, you can laugh about this little fact, what I'm gonna say right now, but remember, one of the most played mobile games worldwide, played by 1 billion people, is owned by Microsoft, and that's Candy Crush. It's a piece of... I can tell you, I hate the game, but do you know how much money every month comes in with Xbox for that stupid game? Holy moly. So yeah, to get it directly, is PlayStation gonna win the most consoles sold? 100%. There's no doubt in my mind that that Microsoft is going to win the console sales times 2. It's not gonna happen. Oh. Almost there. But I do think that in the end, PlayStation is going to bring their games to more systems too. You know, they're already tasting the water right now. Or they also brought one of their first party franchises to Nintendo Switch. The new Bungie game coming day and date to PC and Xbox. So they are definitely tasting what it's going to be if they bring games to different systems. And you know, a lot of people say, you know, Xbox is dead last and they're dead in the water. Keep in mind, they still sold around 35 million consoles. So there are still 35 million potential buyers of games. And only a small part of that group has Gamepass. So if Xbox really did bad, like really bad, not a single game came out on Xbox anymore. Let's be honest. You know, if you take an idea as something like the Super Nintendo back in the day is seen as a one of the best sold consoles ever. Xbox already outsold the Super Nintendo. What are you gonna say next? Doug Bowser is an amazing person. I don't care about any of the bosses from any company. Those stiff harks from PlayStation or the stiff harks from Nintendo or the idiots at Xbox. I don't care who works there. I want to play the games. I think I'm gonna die, yeah. Sony should get Blu-ray support on PC. Do you even know one person that has a physical disk drive in their PC anymore? This is how deluded some of the PlayStation fans are. They actually think that Sony should put the Blu-rays on the PC. You can't be serious. Yeah, I'm gonna revive the girl. I was yeah, that's called Play Anywhere program with physics. That makes no sense. Nobody has a disk drive on their PC for like 10 years. Why? Dumbest thing I've heard today. You even win from Scooby-Dooby, the dumbass. Really, some people? Yeah, exactly. Wow. will purchase a disc drive for my Android phone so I can play Blu-ray PS5 games. Really?
I'm ready. Ready to obey. I'll do it. I'll do it. Ready to obey. I'll do it. I'm ready.
Darn it. If there's something that will be happening, Stranger Moon, is they will... There's a bigger chance that they will stop producing Blu-rays than making a Blu-ray with higher capacity. Because physical media is dead. They're not gonna put money in something that doesn't make its money back anymore. Yeah, I'm trying, but... I'm not gonna make it. Need to try emulsion. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Physical is the future, digital is the present, yeah. Now even I knew you was making a funny. Yeah. You know, you must check out the younger kids. You know, my best friend has 2 kids. One is 10, the other is 8. They don't even know that you can play games on disc. They grew up with iPads and stuff like that. So the next generation of gamers that will come don't even know how to use a disc in a system. It's only a few old people that are still holding on to physical media. Because the younger... Yeah, I don't like it, but it is a fact. It is gonna happen. If you like it or don't like it, yeah, it's gonna happen. Yeah, but I was also really curious how it worked. You know, I started with games on cassette tape. So the first time I got a game on cartridge, I was already like, wow, on a cartridge. That's some next level stuff.
Ready to obey.
At least 20 minutes if you're lucky. Yeah. So yeah, and this generation of gamers that comes on, I don't even know how to play a game on disc anymore. Well, actually, that's also not true. Cartridge games have better loading. No, because an SSD is actually a cartridge, only a faster cartridge. It's literally in the name, solid state disk. Now let's talk. It's a solid state disk, so that's why the Nintendo Switch is changing to those Ultimate SD cards to get a faster loading time that's more in range with SSD. SSD, the loading times on my Nintendo Switch of a cartridge are 5 to 10 times longer than the same game on my Xbox that's also 3 times bigger. Oh yeah, the Neo Geo CD, then you know what loading is, wow. I hope that they will be in the range of an SSD, but from what I've read, that the reading speed is still not on par with SSD in the new cartridges of the Nintendo Switch. That's also a reason why games cannot be played. Ah, now it works. Yeah, loading is super fast these days. Because not a single game is played from disk anymore. Yeah, all games since the PlayStation 4, Xbox One generation needed to be installed on the internal hard drive. So the loading times are way better these days.
What did it mean by light? Let's keep an eye out for other Nevrons like this one. We might learn.
Do you know how expensive games would be if they would bring every game on a next SSD? Then all games would be around 200 euros each, every game. If they would bring a physical cartridged game on SSD, the games would be at least 200 euros each. Yeah, exactly, Days. Yeah, but Digital Foundry Oblivion, of course it loads on all systems the same, because all systems practically use the same SSD. It's a remaster of a old game. You should see the loading times on the original Xbox 360 and compare that to the loading times now. If you open a door, it could take you upwards to like 30 seconds to a minute to load a single door in Oblivion. And now it takes you upwards to like, what, 1-2 seconds? Something like that. I should use... I've got a 360 next to me. You have no idea. Oh, that's crazy. Also, it's a remaster, so they got the game run in the background. So it runs the same game, but on a SSD. So yes, of course there are loading times. Oh, what did I say? About Max, I don't know anymore. Thanks. I did watch the Digital Foundry last video. I saw nothing out of the ordinary. No zero surprises, no strange things. It was all 100% normal and what to expect it. So, I don't know which way you want to go, but... It would be difficult for Max to become... And that's also true, Yilmaz. You're not lying. A lot of loading times. But yeah, the loading times on the 360, and you compare those with the loading times on the Series S or Series X, are a million times faster.
Nice.
Exactly, Ultima God. Funny that people think that the loading times on the 360 were just as fast as the SSD of a Series X or PlayStation 5. The internet is funny sometimes. But yeah, you guys, I've been online for almost, what? 3 hours? My goodness. You guys, I'm going offline. I'm gonna get me something to drink. And, I'm gonna get me something nice to eat. I think that's what I'm going to do. Certainly not... Yeah, the speed difference between Xbox One and Series S is already pretty big. So let alone if you play it on a Xbox 360 and play it from the disc. Those loading times are insane. You guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I had a blast. Great game. Great fun. Hope to see you guys soon in another one. Bye!